Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and today I've got 3 action figures from DC Collectibles. These are from the DC Comics Designer Series, and I've got here Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, and Red Hood. These are all based off the artwork of Greg Capullo, and I got all of these on Amazon.com, and get this, not one of them costs more than $12. That's a pretty good deal. I don't know if they're closing these things out or what, but I like the way that the scopes and the paint looked in the photos, and I figured I'm going to give these a shot. So, and the other characters that you can get from this line, you can turn it on the back and you see that you have Year One Batman, and you also have Commissioner Gordon, and you also have Batgirl. And on the back of the other 2 boxes, of course, you see there's Red Hood, and there's Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, and Thrasher Suit Batman. So, believe it or not, these are actually the first 3 DC Collectibles figures that I have ever had. And I'm trying to expand my horizons a bit, diversify the collection a bit, and I figured this is a good place to start because they were not expensive. These things stand at around the 6-inch-ish mark, so they're pretty good as far as display goes. They won't take up too much space, but the one that caught my attention the most was this Two-Face figure right here. So this is the one that I'm going to be taking a look at first. So here's Two-Face right here, and this is a really nicely done figure. But I gotta tell you, if you're looking for something that is going to have a crazy amount of articulation and something that you can pose in a variety of dynamic ways, this is not something that you're going to be looking for. The articulation on this guy is very simple. It's almost like a very small statue with some articulation. So let's just go over that right now. Now, in his right hand here, he is holding his signature coin, and this is not something that you can take off. He doesn't come with any interchangeable hands or anything like that. He's always going to have this coin inside of his right hand, and it's just sort of stuck in between his thumb and his index finger, which is cool for me because this is Two-Face after all. And then over on his left hand here, it's an empty hand. Now, he does come with 2 pistol accessories. I have one pistol here attached to his hand here. It stands in there pretty well. I didn't have to heat this figure up or anything to make him hold on to the gun well. I didn't have to loosen up his hands to pry the gun in there. It just went in there fairly easily. And his face is the best thing about him. Take a look at the damaged side of his face here. Just the type of paint that was used to really bring out the muscle structure of underneath his skin. We've got varieties of pink and brown, and wow, that is just really good. And it's clean too. There's not like any errant paint that's going around from his damaged side to his completely normal human side, and I think that that's really awesome. And it even extends down to his neck. You see, like right there, like where his neckline ends, you can also see some of the pink there too. It looks really good. And of course, I do love the 2-tone suit. They did a great job with his pretty gnarly looking teeth there. Quite creepy. And yeah, it just looks really good. I'm looking on the back of the figure and looking at some of the paint. It's not completely smooth and perfect all the way around, but it is still very nicely done. You see, I just knocked the gun out of his hand there, but that's okay. I'll just put it right back. And you can see right there, I just put it in there. It's fairly easy, but it is a little bit loose, so that's something to keep in mind. Now let's go over some articulation, and like I said before, this figure does not have that much of it. The gun fell out again, so I'm going to put it over here. Not a lot of articulation in this guy, so we can just move his arm down like that, and he's got this single joint at his elbow there. So we got some single jointed elbows. You see, you can bend them about that much. That's how much you can bend it. You can rotate his arm just like that. His head, you can move right to left. Not necessarily up and down. Only a tiny little bit, you know, to the point where it's like somewhat negligible. And as for his legs here, you can't move his legs apart really. They're actually quite stiff. And as for his knees, there's like that single joint right there for his knee. And that is pretty much it as far as articulation goes. This Two-Face does stand up very well on his own, but if you're looking for something, like I said, that has a lot of articulation, this is not something that you're going to want because he just doesn't have that much of it. But I don't really mind. I still like him anyway. Now, another thing that I do want to point out is that he comes with two guns, but since you can only put one in his hand, you're going to have the other gun just sort of sitting around not doing anything. So, just keep it in the box or keep it somewhere where you would normally have accessories, and you really won't have to worry about it. And if you don't want him to always drop his gun, you might want to just sort of pull it up like this. And that way, gravity will make sure that the gun does not slip out of his hand. But I kind of want to have him holding the gun down. And because I want to do this, if I move him, he probably is going to drop the gun. But overall, especially for the price that I paid for him, I think that this is a quite cool action figure. Not a lot of poses, but if you're looking for something that's just going to stand out and say, wow, that's a pretty cool looking sculpt on a Two-Face figure, this is what you're going to want. So that's it for this figure, and like I said, if you want to pick him up, you can just go to Amazon.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can find him, and hopefully the price on him has not gone up too much from the time that I recorded this video to the time that you're looking at this video. So thank you so much for watching this, and stay tuned because I still have to go over the Red Hood and Mr. Freeze. So that's coming up real soon, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.